at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting of his names. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming. Let's chant the holy name. Holy Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda. All right, let's do a little japa here today. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. You turn your microphones on.
Okay. It's on.
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara. Shivasari Gaura. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasari Gaura. Shri Advaita
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Jesus Prabhupada, 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 Shri Advaita Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna Chaitanya.
Shri Krishna,
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Krishna,
Shri Advaita.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jaya, Jaya Sri
Shri
Krishna.
Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Prabhu, Prabhu
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna,
Sri Advaita.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya,
Nityananda.
Shri Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya,
Advaita.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Gadadara.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Hari Gora
Nityananda,
Bhakta Vrinda.
Nityananda, 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 Nityananda,
Nityananda.
Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Chitaya.
Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri
Giant Lord.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna,
Sri Krishna Sita.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Prabhupada.
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya. Katatara.
Chaitanya,
Vilas.
Shri
Adhikara Bhakta
Krishna
Vrinda.
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna, Shri Shri
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara
Shri Krishna Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri
Shri
Advaita
Krishna
Gadadara
Chaitanya,
Sri
Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Adhikora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Prabhu Sri Advaita Gadadara
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Adhikora
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama
Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Oh my Lord Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Oh my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Ram, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama Hare
Rama Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
Rama
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Shri Krishna
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna
Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Aishwarya, Gadadhara, Srivas, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Aishwarya, Gadadhara, Srivas,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Adi Gaura Bhakta,
Hare Rama,
Jaya Jaya Sri Krishna Gadadhara,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Srivas,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Ram,
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Shri Krishna,
Rama Rama
Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Hare Krishna Hare
Shri Krishna,
Krishna
Chaitanya, Shri
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya,
Hare Rama Hare
Shri
Sri
Krishna,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama Rama
Shri Krishna,
Sri
Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Chaitanya, Shri Krishna, Chaitanya,
Krishna
Shri
Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Prabhu
Chaitanya,
Nityananda,
Shri Krishna,
Gadadara Sri
Chaitanya, Shri
Guru
Chaitanya,
Jaya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Chaitanya,
Ram.
Shri Krishna
Rama,
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna,
Shri
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Shri
Ram,
Krishna
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Shri
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Shri Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Chaitanya,
Ram.
Shri Krishna,
Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna,
Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Hare, Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
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 Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare.
Ram. Ram, Ram, Hare
Ah, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Let's see here. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto. Chapter 21, 10th Canto. The gopis glorify the song of Krishna's flute. Shukadev Goswami said, thus the Vrindavan forest was filled with transparent autumnal waters, and cooled by the breezes perfumed with the fragrance of lotus flowers growing in the clear lakes. The infallible Lord, accompanied by his cows and cowherd boyfriends, entered that Vrindavan forest. The lakes, the rivers, the hills of Vrindavan resounded with the sounds of maddened bees. and the flocks of birds moving about the flowering trees. In the company of the cowherd boys and Balaram, Madhupadi, Sri Krishna entered the forest, and while herding the cows, he began to vibrate his flute. When the young ladies in the cowherd village of Raj heard the song of Krishna's flute, which arouses the influence of Cupid, some of them privately began describing Krishna's qualities to their intimate friends. When the young ladies in the cowherd village of Raj heard the song of Krishna's flute, which arouses the influence of Cupid. The song of Krishna's flute, that's his intimate devotee. See, it's a song. See, arouses Cupid, but not the kind of lust of the world. See, it's the love of God. See, that's the forte. Yeah. See, that's why the devotees come here. They come here to arouse that Cupid. See, that pure devotion. See? Pure love of God. See? And that's why no one else can do that. You have to be Krishna's flute. Yeah. Krishna's transcendental flute. See? It's Vrindavan. It's not mundane. That's why you can't be a real representative to arouse the love of God unless you're Krishna's flute. Yeah. That's why we don't see it so often, because Krishna's not blowing his flute, and you're not hearing the intimate song. See, the song of the gopis means that's the actual Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. It's the song of the gopis. Okay? See, and that arouses this love of God in people. That's why it's very specific, and that's the goal of life. You want to achieve the goal of life, you got to meet the devotee, man. You got to meet the flute. See, it gets you out of your house, and all your household affairs and all that stuff, and you start to listen, hearing. That's why the devotees, they always, the awakened ones, they always stay with hearing Krishna's flute. They're always listening to Krishna Das Kaviraj. He's the flute of Krishna. See, all the devotees, Prabhupada. See, they always want Krishna's flute. That's the only one. It's the only sound vibration that attracts them. It's the only siddhanta that attracts them. It's so clean and so pure. It's like the Chakravaka bird. Only drinks water from the cloud, not dirty water. Doesn't like the dirt, doesn't like the alloys. That's why, Gohari is a bit of a stickler for these things. Doesn't like mixtures of stuff. Like it clean from the real devotees, pure devotees. Pure concepts, pure conception of Krishna. No, that's fine wine, intoxicating. Yeah, that's the real line, and that means you found the real flute. That was the idea, because there's so many flutes out there, but they're usually mundane material. Doesn't you could see people playing nice instruments and singing beautifully and everything, but it's still mundane. Their vibration is mundane material. But people are attracted because they're still attracted to the material. See, but those persons, that's why the devotees preach. They know that some will awaken. So, they awaken. See, they hear Krishna's flute. See, you can see like Amy and Fanny, good examples of people just out there in their household duties, their families, right? And their daughters and children's, and somehow they hear that song, gets them out of the house and into this house, the house of God, the house of Krishna. See how esoteric these things are, they're very deep. See, The acharyas, they wrote in codes, they put these things, hidden messages. See, but only for devotees. See, that only with devotion can these be unlocked. And then, you have to hear them from the devotees. That's why, because usually people don't have that deep devotion to unlock these things. See, and then it arouses your bhakti more, because it's like you're hearing the flute, the song of Krishna. See, you get enlivened, and that's your salvation in this world, is and more, because this is how it is. See, the gopis are going to have a conversation here. There he is. Some of them privately began describing Krishna's qualities to their intimate friends. See, again, this is a symptom of devotees. They describe, they're inspired to describe the qualities of Krishna to their who? Intimate friends. See? That's why it behooves you, if you want to advance into Vrindavan, that's why you see, you can't just do it by your sadhana practice. If you're lucky, if you're really, really fortunate, the devotees will share this with you. That was Lord Caitanya's mercy. That's the mercy of a real associate now, to describe that. Even if you're not an intimate associate, describe these things, and you can become an intimate associate if that's what you want. See, that Raghunuga Bhakti is you desire to worship like those intimate devotees. See, and just by hearing these confidential topics, you can also come there. Amy says, and then by hearing this word, this vibration, it builds a new foundation in your house, inside of yourself. Yes. Yeah. True.
Yeah. So that you start to think from the house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it comes from a new way of thinking. Actually, your house becomes transformed into a spiritual activities. Yeah. Beautiful. When the young ladies in the cowherd village heard the song, they began describing Krishna's qualities to their intimate friends. The cowherd girls began to speak about Krishna, but when they remembered his activities, O king, the power of Cupid disturbed their minds, and thus they could not speak. They said, wearing a peacock feather ornament upon his head, blue kanikara flowers on his ears, okay. Blue kanikara flowers on his ears. A yellow garment as brilliant as gold, and a Vijayanti garland. Lord Krishna exhibited his transcendental form as the greatest of dancers. As he entered the forest of Vrindavan, beautifying it with the marks of his footprints, he filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips. And the cowherd boys began to sing his glories. He filled the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips. And the cowherd boys began to sing his glories. See? Because he filled the nectar of the cowherd boys. See? Interesting how they word that. Huh? See? You wouldn't think it would be, it's like there's the flute over there and the cowherd boys over there. No. he fills the lips with that nectar. See, that taste. The Lord Chaitanya came to give that taste for that nectar. See, the nectar of his name. If you don't have that taste for that nectar, see, that's what you get from the real associates of Lord Chaitanya, is that taste of that nectar. So when you chant, then you have, you're getting some substantial food. You see it as food. You could say things like, yeah, I have bread that you know not of. Basically, I got butter for the bread. That's more conclusive. I have butter for the bread that you know not of, because, they were preaching, Pharisees were preaching Bibles and talking about God and all that, but they didn't have any butter for the bread. That butter is that taste, that attraction to Krishna. That's what they have different names, Bhaktilata Bij, Holy Spirit. See, it's that taste for the name of God. It makes it a transcendental whole vibration that awakens wholeness in others. Otherwise, a half person cannot awaken wholeness in others. See, that's why you have to be an awakened devotee. You have to be a real spiritual master to awaken others. I mean, a lot of people don't even have the conception that they're supposed to be awakened. They don't have the conception, even with all these books that Krishna consciousness is about love of Krishna, life's ultimate goal. And the question should be, where can I get this to happen in my life? I mean, forget about what is it? Well, live for the future. That's not a symptom of greed. Greed, you want it now. You want it in this life. What is this future? It's like it's kind of like people live for the future now. No, the question is, how can I get love of God now? Because you can get it because Jesus came, because Lord Caitanya came. Okay? All you need is the devotee to remind you of these things. Okay? Yeah. You have to be part of the group, that hears, that will listen to Krishna's flute so that your love of God can awaken. That's why purification, most people are not qualified. You can't just, get this to awaken just immediately. Sometimes you have to listen for a while. Yeah, sometimes it happens in a week, and then it happens really fast because you don't have to wait around, for to be almost free of everything and then have it. No, you just have to make this connection. It's amazing. There's so many people in the world that have much better qualities than many of us, than me. They're more disciplined. They're more this, or they're more that. They're maybe nicer, more sweet, more humble. But it's this connection that is important. That's what the cowherd boys, they somehow or other had this natural love for Krishna. And they were wondering, that was one of the pastimes here in the 10th canto, is they wonder, how does this Krishna warrant a birth among us? Why are we associating with this Krishna? Who are we? We're just ordinary, farmers. Simple people with nothing special. People look down on us, think we're like, like poor farmers. And the rich people would pass them by and wonder, you guys, farmers, huh? Like us, here in the Sangha. They pass us by, pass Lalita by, the river and others. Oh, who are you? You're just farmers. You guys aren't special. You don't even wear devotional clothes. See, that's why people are bewildered by Vrindavan. If you don't hear it explained by the devotees, you'll never overcome the obstacles. Okay? That's why you got to listen, Otherwise, you're not really, you're just worshiping God with more or less pretense. is pretentious worship. See, worshiping God, if you really want to worship God, you want intimacy. See? And if the Lord sees in your heart that you're sincere, he'll lead you to the devotees where you'll learn how to worship that Lord. You'll get purified. See, by the words they speak to you about these conclusive, intimate teachings, confidential. Otherwise, you can't make any prayer. You just be stuck in your false ego, thinking you're a great teacher. Can you imagine? People think because they got degrees and they got a position in the Varnashram system, but they don't have love of God, that they're important. No, without love of God, you're not very important. Not at all. Not to the one that it means anything to. Two people. Two types of persons. One is the real devotees who love God, and the Lord himself who loves his devotees. That's why many will cry, Lord, Lord, and won't be saved. You have to actually have love for God, this prema. Otherwise, you're not saved yet. You're coming back. You have to. You're not spiritual. You're not spiritualized. You haven't followed the process. Yeah, the Lord and his devotees come here to teach the process. The process is you really, really need a bona fide guru to teach you these confidential things. Otherwise, you will not know about the kingdom of God. That's why Prabhupada made sure he wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, which describes the mercy of Lord Caitanya. The mercy of the Bhagavatam is not strong enough. No. I've seen it. It's not strong enough because you're not qualified enough to read Bhagavatam until you're purified by the mercy of Lord Caitanya. You're not even purified really to chant the holy name without the mercy of Lord Caitanya. And he ain't coming back for 4,320,000,000 years. You better kiss the ground if you find one of his associates here in this world, because you'll get the same result from them, which is the awakening of your love of God that he did 550 years ago and his devotees did. But he preached the confidential truths, right? Didn't he? That's what Chaitanya Charitamrita is all about. Confidential truths about the process. How to get this mercy, chapter 1 on the spiritual master. You can't jump over that. You can't just go into gopi, gopi, gopi. See, people, many do. Learn from their experience. They don't get it. They just become puffed up and then teach a disciplic line of proud disciples. Proud of their whatever they have, and it's not much, if anything. What etiquettes, rules, regulations? Oh, we'll put that on your epitaph. This person, man, he followed rules and regulations so nice, and boy, he was so much nice etiquette. He was always humble and peaceful and sweet. Never got angry, put on a great show, disciplined, see? But no natural love for God. Yeah. I want on my epitaph. Yeah, Gohari, he was harsh, he was angry, he was all these things. But man, he actually had love of God. We saw it. Man, other people got it from, that's what I want on my epitaph. I don't want that I was so humble and sweet. Yeah, that's I am what I am, natural. But they'll put on my epitaph. Well, people actually, if anybody figures it out on the outsiders, oh yeah, they actually, love of God was awakened in his association. People went back to Godhead. Okay? Now that's what you gurus out there should want on your epitaph. Not like, my God, Acharya Dev, he died, and man, he was a great scholar. Man, he gave classes and he preached and he started Krishna West. You know, he made so many devotees, of course, without real devotion, which is not important to them. They don't even know the importance, because you have to come here and hear the confidential truth that devotion is the most important thing about Krishna consciousness. It's the butter for Krishna's name. Otherwise, dry. You notice bread, dry bread, stale, becomes stale. Why did Lord Caitanya had this, what was it? Damayanti would cook all these preparations. He would keep it for a year, or any preparations made for the devotee, put it in storage. It never was stale. The offerings of devotees never get stale to the Lord. See, never get dry. Why? Because they got bhakti. That's the secret. Bhakti keeps it nice and juicy and wet. You know, when I got one of these they call baguettes, you know, a whole wheat baguette with I usually really like those things. And I went to a new place to get it, and it looked good from the outside. But the guy, and then it came, it was hard as a rock. And I knew that thing was at least probably 2 days old. And they had the audacity to sell it as fresh. And I told the guy, I said, this is hard as a rock. He said, oh, don't worry about that. He says, just put it in a pan, put some water down there, and it'll get nice and soft. See, that's the way see, you got to put it in the pan with water. Otherwise, it's dry and hard. So Krishna is dry and hard. That's why you see hard-hearted. You could be in religion and Vaishnava and all, but your heart is hard. No butter, no softness, no water. See, no water for Krishna. Krishna is just sitting there, a dried up prune. And all this jungle growth is on top of the deity, right? And the deity is in you. Hey, man, I hate to break it to you. Inside you is that deity that was in the jungle that Madhavinda Puri had to uncover. That's about you. That jungle growth is about you. Jungle growth all over in you, covering the real deity that you don't know. That's why you're sitting there like a dried up prune, chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. No, there's no water. No awakening. See, you got to hear Krishna's real flute, transcendental vibration, conclusive truth, clear understanding, empowered words. You know, Krishna's lips are the devotee's lips. That's the kind of intimacy. When you meet a devotee, you're seeing a kissing experience. You're so humble, they tumble. Yeah, right, exactly. O king, while the young ladies in Braj heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they embraced one another and began describing it. It's interesting, captivates all living beings. Well, how come we don't see them captivated? Why aren't they all devotees? Well, they are, because everybody is captivated by Krishna's flute. Okay? But the spiritual flute is the one that we want. It awakens the spiritual heart. Otherwise, the mundane heart is attached. See, we have to have the butter, because the butter is the lust. That feeling draws you to the bodies of people in the world. See, but the love for Krishna draws us to the spiritual body of the Lord, awakens our spiritual body. That's simple. See, that's because everybody is captivated by the flute. They have to, because, from the broader sense, we're all devotees of the Lord. But, this is the thing, some of the Mayavadi stuff gets in here sometimes. People, they get the rays here and they mix it with the, oh yeah, I'm a devotee. And they compare the lust with for the bodies of others, that now this is devotional. No, that's sahaja. That's another level of sahaja. It's you're mixing what is material as spiritual. No, that's not it. No, you have to have. That's the only way to separate this. Is the love, that pure love of God has to awaken your heart. Now you begin the work of separation. See, separating what is spiritual and what is material. That's Bhagavatam. Only a person who loves God, has real love of God, can preach Bhagavatam. That was the whole thing with Devananda Pandit. Lord Caitanya said, Devananda Pandit, you're not qualified to preach the Bhagavatam, even though you're a great scholar, like these other gurus in ISKCON and all. They might be great scholars, like Acharya Dev. See? So, should I tell them, or should I just keep it a secret and die with that secret in my grave? I'm going to tell them. I don't care. You're like Devananda Pandit or anybody like you. You don't show the real path. I'm here to teach what is the real path and use the book Bhagavat, the Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Leela, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the real message for those who want to hear it. See, if you have just the qualities of a scholar, you cannot deliver your disciples. Shouldn't even be taking disciples and give them the idea that you can deliver them. I mean, you could say, like, I'm a spiritual teacher. I can't really, if you're really honest, nothing wrong with it. Say, well, I can help you, maybe teach you some rules and regulations, but, I can't take you to Vrindavan because I'd have to awaken your love of Krishna for you to go to Vrindavan. Otherwise, you don't know Vrindavan. You're not qualified to know that Krishna Vrindavan. There's only attracted devotees there. Yeah. You can't teach the process of going to Vrindavan. The book is teaching. That's why I just quote the book. It's not by austerity, so you get into Vrindavan and worship Vrindavan Krishna. It's not through pious deeds that you get in Vrindavan to know Krishna in truth. It's not by your austerities or your studies or your regulative devotional service that you get into worship Vrindavan Krishna. No, it's through the ecstatic devotees who chant the holy name with intimacy and ecstasy. There's no other way. So you're all going the wrong path by going to Acharya Dev, who is like a Devananda Pandit. Unless you want to, Acharya Dev, you want to come over here and prove that you're not cheating your disciples. If anybody is going to him thinking they're going to enter Vrindavan, they're being cheated. Should I keep my mouth shut or should I tell the truth? Maybe one would hear and they'd be saved if they come to the right place. If they stay, they've got a many lifetime trip. They got at least one more lifetime, right? At least. And he's got one more lifetime at least, if not more. You can't get into Vrindavan without bhav, that kind of bhav that you see here. People can actually see this kind of ecstatic worship going on here. They must see it. Otherwise, it's not available. It's not stocked in the shelves. It's not into the marketplace. It's not being marketed. It's not being sold in the marketplace. It's not a commodity. It's not any merchandise there. And that's the merchandise Lord Caitanya brought. Why do you want to draw this out? Make it a many lifetimes before people can understand why Lord Caitanya came. He came for this. He came for what we're doing already. That's it, man. To butter the bread. Uncover the deity in you, in me, and everybody else. Come on, let's get to it, man. Jeev Jago, for God's sake. In you. Krishna doesn't like to just sit there in the jungle, and remember he said to Madhavinda Puri, I'm sitting in the jungle. I suffer from heat and cold and all that stuff. You think he's just talking about something external? He's talking about you. He's suffering in you. from the heat and the cold and all. That's you suffering. The real you. That's why you see the real guru comes in with choppers and spades, and see, you guys take them up too. We're all going in there as a team, choppers and spades. We're the geologists going out, to the ancient. You know how they go to the ancient sites and dig in the ruins and get the ancient cities up. That's what we're doing, man. We're going there excavating with our chisels and our shovels, and we're excavating the deity to bring it out in the open, right? Isn't that what they do? They bring the city. It's been submerged under the ground. Hey, it's that time, man. Now, come on, man. Let's get with the real program. Yeah, let's excavate. The real city, the city of light is God. Let's get this into the awareness where we can see that Lord, right? See the city. It's what good is it being under the ground? We got to excavate it, bring it up so we can see the city of lights. That's the Lord. And be eternally happy. Be real gurus. Otherwise, why die like that? Why die like in false prestige? That's why Lord Caitanya came. He helped Devananda Pandit. Like I'm trying to help these gurus. They can't help themselves. Their disciples can't. They bewilder each other. They stroke each other's false ego, right? Only here do I just slap them around with truth. Slap the truth. Slap them with the citation of truth. Give them a summons. You're being summoned. This is maritime law here. This ain't no common law. That's all common. No, that's maritime law. It's the legality stuff, legalism. They call it Christianity without legalism, that when it's devoid of the spirit. See, you legally, they're not. This is common law. This is law of the land of Vrindavan. See, law of the land of Vrindavan. That's legalism, legal law. See, they sit down and make checklists and all that stuff and say this is we're legally gurus because we write it down that we are. We have paper degrees. We sit there, we have rubber stamps of our cohorts. Our group, says we are. See, it's legal. It's not common law. See, there's common law in Vrindavan. See, this rejoices to the world. Common law. The law of Vrindavan is you associate with real devotees and you hear the vibration of the flute and it'll awaken you, they purify you, and you become a devotee of Vrindavan. That's common law. It works in all situations. But you have to come to the devotees for this to happen. Okay? Otherwise, that's some legal thing, but it's not real. Even in the world, they call it this legal thing, legal stuff. It's not real law. It's artificial, and it creates a straw man, not a real man. See, this is all about Krishna. The whole thing. You want to see things like that? See everything related, because that's how it is. You're just a straw man. You don't have any substance. You're just a legalist. You're legal. Yeah, I'm a real guru because don't you see? They wrote it down. They said so. They gave me this position. They gave me this position. Did Krishna give you this position? Well, what's that mean? You only know when Krishna gives you that position to be a bona fide spiritual master. You'll know what empowerment is. You won't work on your own. you'll see, oh, it's because of my friend I can do this. My beloved friend. We work together without, then you'll say, just like Jesus said, without of myself, I can't do this. It's because we're together, bosom buddies. Yeah, you got to have that kind of invisible friend to others, visible to you, but invisible to the others. They'll just marvel, like, wow, man, how did he say that? Man, I never heard stuff like that. That's if you're open. If you're not, if you're contaminated, you go, let's see, let me think of an argument where I can defeat him and be victorious. And that's what you do. That's if you're not purified. People still marvel at what Jesus said, when they wrote down in the book some of these sayings. Marvel, wow, they still contemplating. Why? Because he had a friend, an intimate friend. He came to give that intimate relationship with that intimate friend to his disciples. They became like him. If you're not like your guru, forget about being in the real. If you're not like, not when I say your guru, if you're not like Prabhupada, forget about being a real guru. You're not really a guru. You're just a stand-in, a double. You're not the real, it's like they have in the movies, a double. He's not the real actor. He's just a double. He's just standing in for the actor for whatever reason they want. No, you got to be in the real line. You got to be as good as Prabhupada, and that's just how it is, man. The people have to see that. You won't feel that like that. I don't feel I'm good as anybody, man. But I know the Lord is as good as he's the good one. He's the transcendental one, Just this relationship, somehow or other, I don't know. I'm just not going to ask too many questions why he wants to hang around with me. I'll just take the association. I'm a little bit greedy, I'll take it at any cost, Okay, you hang out with me? Okay, good. I want to hang out with you. Yeah, definitely. I know I'm not qualified, man. I ain't pure. But I know you are, man. And when you get close, man, everything works. Getting close to God, it's like springtime. Life is here. Everything's perfect. Joy in the world. That kind of thing. That's when you're close to God. See? Otherwise, there's no real joy. You get the the step down version. Oh yes, I have been joyful. I met my beautiful wife or beautiful husband. Oh, so we're in love and everything, and then it turns sour at a certain point. Go ahead, Lolita. What?
They have the joy of moments, and we have the eternal joy that you
Eternal?
start to experience. This is eternal life because it's always there.
Yeah,
Now
always the
you know
meeting.
it.
The
Yeah.
meetings there it comes. Even if you're like, maybe you're involved, like for me, I'm involved during the day sometimes in this and that. Sometimes I overdo stuff. Sometimes I look at TikTok too much, and I go, "Ugh," I'm like this, And I even, when I come sometimes like, there's too much of that. Oh Lord, why can't I be more better? Why can't I be more? Why do I have to be just, just out of control sometimes, just, and I come, and then connection with the Lord, boom, everything is beautiful again. Everything is wonderful. And this just goes on all the time, man, no matter, whatever the situation, could be a great day or a bad day, but just come to the Lord, and then boom. That's really the teaching. And people, they work really hard to feel in some state of balance or happiness. It's very hard to do. Becomes very easy. It's just, you just put your, like the Lord, it becomes like what he told Sachi Devi when he left for South India. He said, your love is so strong for me now. And because he was so bonded with his mother, and she loved him and loved, just all the always serving like that, so much in love, He said, all you have to do is you just think of me and I'll be there. That's not where this is all going here. I mean, it is for me. I just come back, think of the Lord. And, oh, Lord, and that's a great reminder, you know. And,
That's like the gopis. It's like the gopis in Vrindavan when Krishna goes to Dwarka. They would rather stay and talk about Krishna than go to Dwarka,
yeah,
isn't it? It's like
yeah,
that.
yeah. You're with, yeah. Well, and they would want to do that because they liked the ras that they had with Krishna. They didn't want to be around the devotees in the raw. See, this is actually, I had this realization this morning. I was chanting and I was saying, okay, what are you going to teach me today, Lord? So that's what it's all. I love this, man. Yeah. This Lord's my teacher, you know? Sometimes I'm his teacher. That's how it works. So he's my teacher. I said, okay, what are you going to teach me about chanting today? So I was chanting. And for some reason, I couldn't think of Krishna. And I said, why is I can't think of you? Yeah, so I'm chanting, and I wasn't thinking. And then all of a sudden, he showed me something. He showed me. See, you think about the love that his devotees have for him. I thought, oh, that's it. And then it all started to come really naturally. The love that his devotees have for him reveals his nature, because without seeing their pastimes together, that's why he sent Uddhava to understand him more deep, because it's the gopis' love caused their relationship to be exposed. Otherwise, it's not exposed. See? That's why you even on the basic sense, you need a devotee. You need to see their relationship with Krishna that's deeper than could be like a Vaidhi Bhakti. They have some relationship with Krishna, but it's more distant, more dry. See? If you want to go deeper, you have to see the deeper devotee's relationship with Krishna. Then you learn about more of the depth of Krishna. And then they'll talk to you and share more intimate things that the Lord is sharing with them. This is how you progress. Otherwise, you don't progress. Bali Maharaj had to go from his association with his guru, who was at a certain level, and to Vamanadev's association. Yeah, see, to Vamanadev's association, and then, but anyway, that's another level. The better level is for the Brahmins to progress. The wives of the Brahmin, pastime in 10th canto. For the Brahmins to progress, they had to look at the relationship that their wives brought back from being associated with the cowherd boys. Because they went to the cowherd boys and they got to see their more intimate relationship with Krishna. And that's how their love developed. Is you have to be with the devotee who has more deeper relationship with Krishna. That's how it works. Otherwise, you won't know that. You can't know that relationship just by sadhana and vaidhi or being with gurus who don't have that deeper relationship. So whether you're a guru or a follower of that guru, if you want to deepen your relationship, you have to be open to associating with a deeper devotee. See, and so in our line is you need an associate of Lord Caitanya to learn these things, and otherwise you don't learn them. This whole thing passes you by, and you're just you try again. Okay, you following your karma still karma. The karma is, oh yeah, you made it to the Brahman level. Oh yeah, you get good karma. Still, a Brahman is good. Yeah. It's only the transcendental devotees who have a transcendental relationship with Krishna are beyond karma. I mean, Bhagavatam teaches. I only teach the Bhagavatam. You could say, where does it say that? Well, Yamaraj says that. Bring me those persons who are adverse to the honey of the pastimes of the Lord. Adverse to the honey is you don't like what's going on here, because the pastimes of the Lord are our life. That's the honey. The name of the Lord is our life. The taste for the name, that honey in that. And if you're adverse to it, so I don't care if you're a big guru with a big following, you can have 1 million followers like Bundraka. Still, you're a non-devotee without this taste, without this devotion, without this appreciation. We're here, we test the world in that way, just simple, automatically. You just see how your attitude is here, if you're purified or not. If you come here and say, yuck, ooh, I don't like it. Well, okay, you're contaminated. No, it's you. Yeah, I've been through that already.
But Guru Maharaj, that's a deep thing that you say, you think about the devotional of devotees, because that's why Lord Caitanya came to show it. He came to show those symptoms so that we can be affected by that.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what, because he came in the mood. That's what I was thinking about too. When I was chanting the Lord's name, I was thinking about his pastimes as a devotee. It's also really amazing because he had the deepest, most amazing, It's like meditating on Radharani's pastimes, because you are, in that sense, because he was in that mood, showed her deepest moods. Yeah, that's how we get it, just but you have to be purified. Otherwise, you're just on external bhakti. Yeah. So, this is a rare opportunity for people who have the spiritual greed. I mean, real spirit, not just talking, I got spiritual greed, that you don't go where it is. You would be like the wives of the Brahmins who didn't go. And they'll say, if you'd be like that, say, well, I can't go because I'm too busy with Narayan Raj. And he said that it's going to take many lifetimes, and I'm following his path. But here, this opportunity is like the cowherd boys and more, actually. And the cowherd boys, because that's just that relationship. This is, actually the next dimension of that. That was the Bhagavatam. Here is a deeper relationship given by Lord Caitanya, the conjugal. Yeah, and you would just say, well, I'm going to be with this guru or that guru. I don't want to go there. See, could you imagine the wives saying that and not going to where there is a deeper level of devotee and devotion? You could say the Brahmins are devotees on one level. I mean, they're worshiping Krishna. They were worshiping, but doing by pujas and all that. But the Lord says, those kind of devotees, it's weak, awe and reverence and all that. There's still pride in that. You see, they don't understand things that are. They don't know who God really is. Only the more intimate associates of the Lord know the real nature of the Lord and the real path to that nature, the real path of progress to that nature. Yeah. So this is for spiritual greed. If you're not greedy, you think, oh, I'm happy being a Brahmin. I met people like that. They were, just, oh, I'm so happy I'm going to learn this puja and that puja. And they wouldn't listen to me. I was in Mayapur. Oh, no, I got my path. I got these teachers. I'm going to take this expensive course. See, they charge you big bucks, even in Vaishnavism. This course, I got to pay for it. You got to pay to become a Brahmin in some of these places. One Vaishnava told somebody here, I think, said, "Oh, I'd like to be a Brahmin, but I can't afford it right now." See, that's the kind of devotional service we're dealing with here, and it's kind of. Yeah. So this is progress. If you want progress and you have spiritual greed, because this is the only way, is you have to be greedy to be with a devotee, greedy enough to listen to them and understand the deeper principles. Okay, so, if you're called, you'll come here. If not, you'll just stay in the Lord. He's seated in the heart of all living entities, right? And directing their wanderings. He'll direct a few here. Yeah, look, we got 16 people. Hey, man. Seeds are being sown. We'll see how it all, what spaghetti sticks on the wall.
I like that verse. He directs the wanderings, and what it says to my heart is it gives us the opportunity to wander carefree, casual in this world, and just naturally make friendships. I may wander into a church, community, coffee morning, or a fellowship, Narcotics Anonymous. Can wander anywhere in the world, unrestricted.
See, he's in Nityananda mood. That's what Nityananda was. He's wandering around Navadweep and India, meeting people, different people, and all that. Yeah, I'm a wanderer.
I had to laugh at this fella today because he does what I do when I come into Spoons. He walked to the counter, took a used cup, and just went to the coffee machine. You know,
Ooh, little thief.
I have my own
Made
cup
money.
as well.
Yeah, they got big bucks, those Witherspoons. And what's a cup of coffee to them, man? Yeah. Okay, let's see here. The cowherd girl said, "Oh, friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly very fortunate." See? The cowherd girl said, "Oh, friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate." So you're everybody's thinking, "Oh yeah, my eyes to see." No, you should see those eyes of a devotee. There you go. Now you understand the verse. Because if you don't see those eyes of a devotee who is looking at Krishna in their loving relationship, forget about trying to have your eyes see Krishna, because all you get is eye exercise, like Bhaktisiddhanta said. No, you need to see those eyes of a person worshiping Krishna intimately and ecstatically. Then your eyes will be fortunate. Otherwise, not. Otherwise, you want to go directly. That's why I say, don't go directly. This is directly. Go look at those eyes of that person looking the intimate form of Krishna, because they'll be wet, they'll be ecstatic, they'll be knowledgeable. See, hear that mouth attentively. Then you get purified of all kinds of bullshit in your mind and speculations and stuff like that. And you realize, this speculation was in my way. Let me just focus on the eyes and the hearing, the sound vibration of Krishna's flute. Just real attentively, man. Not, say, well, I agree with this and I don't agree with that. And I agree with this and I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I relish very much. Sometimes when I was with Johan in Belgium, I took some photos. It's quite amazing actually, because I was able to. It was captured that he was like in 4 different places at once. The screen. He was just like, the ecstasy of a devotee is immense. Like you shared with us from the beginning, and you shared the path straight away with us in Mayapur. Photos of the devotees. So we've been able to do that. Some of those photos are amazing, and some of the photos that I've captured of Lalita. There's one photo of Lalita. I did not put a filter on it or do anything. She's blue.
Yeah.
There's some amazing things that have happened in this Sangha darshans that I have not photoshopped. There's a few.
Yeah.
One morning when I woke up in Coventry, I looked back over the video of the bhajan we did the night before. On the cushion, there's a feather, a peacock feather impressed. Amazing things are happening in this Sangha. It's,
Yeah, I mean, it's like being a miner excavating new things, beautiful things, helpful things. Yeah, like the conversation with Ramananda Roy. They discussed these topics that are now in the book, that are very helpful for advancing in devotional service. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, some pictures of Lord Caitanya are really saying a lot.
Yeah, you see,
Very inspiring.
yeah, it's amazing that Lord Caitanya is crying. They even put the picture of him crying in ecstasy and all that, but they don't like to see it now. Yeah. So that's because you've got to get purified by being around real devotees, and that's yeah. Otherwise, you won't appreciate. How can you appreciate it being around, Vaishnavas who don't appreciate? You got to be around those who do. They resonate with that. See, they're on that vibration, that frequency. Now we're talking real Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, without coming into that vibration and that frequency of the real devotees with real bhakti, real understanding of the scriptures, how are you going to get into that? You're trying to attain it on your own offensive chanting and your own vibration that's not up to that stand. Better to just come in and be tuned to that frequency, and you'll come into the tune. Everything happens, purification, everything automatically. Everything's thrown out, purified. Ah. Time is it anyway? 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to take a little break here now. And so let's play the song. I'm going to take a little break. What does Amy say here? Let's see. What does she say? Conditions of the 3 modes of nature. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to share one thing. Go ahead, briefly. Yeah. If I go offline again, this could happen in the next few weeks. If I go offline, I'm not going away from this Sangha. It might happen.
Why are you
so
going
I just want to financially. You've given me help. Loads of devotees have given me help. It might happen because the small assistance I've had in benefits it looks like it's gone. There is building work I can do, and I will go back to it. I'm looking at things, but I will never, ever, ever leave the Sangha.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never leave the Sangha. So just heads up.
Okay, so what happened? You lost your benefits?
It looks like it usually comes 14 days. It's now 16 days. So it's very, very likely that it's been cut.
Oh, you mean, are they just doing that for everybody or something?
It was a little bit moody, the situation. It wasn't pucker situation that I was.
Oh, I see.
So, but it's okay. There's a lot of avenues I've got. So I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
Lots of devotees have helped me. I'm very, very grateful. I don't want to keep asking.
Well, I know, I understand. Yeah, but still, you need something. Yeah. So, River, would you mind starting a GoFundMe thing over there, and whoever wants to contribute can? Can you make a GoFundMe for Govinda with his bank account? Do you have a bank account there, Govinda?
Yeah, I've got the card details. I can send them through. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Can you do that there, River? Can you hear me, River?
I don't know, actually, because they do actually charge me a lot of interest when I do that kind of stuff.
What do you mean interest?
Can you hear me, River? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
They
know
don't.
actually, because they do actually charge me a lot.
What do you mean interest? How much interest do they charge you? They're not supposed to charge anything for a GoFundMe.
Oh, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they charge an interest
What kind
on
of
my
interest?
bank, and I've changed my bank, so I don't know how they will do it as well. But I'll try and do it.
How do they charge you interest on something?
Well,
GoFundMe.
they sent me when I did GoFundMe's before. They
Yeah.
take some of the money. The bank does
Well,
charge
yeah,
you.
yeah, of course they take some of the money. That's not you. They're not charging you the interest. They take some of the money. Yeah. That's part
Yeah,
of the
they
thing.
were.
Yes. Yeah, no.
They
No,
were
well,
charging me
that's
actually,
normal. That's
because
normal.
I've got the forms.
Yes. Yeah, but don't think, yeah, but they're not charging, they're just taking their cut. That's what they do. Yeah. It's not an interest thing.
Well, if I have issues, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Huh? The what? Okay. So you
I'll
can't
do
do
my
it.
best, but if it causes me issues, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll see if we can find somebody else can do it. Who else could do it? Okay.
No, I'll do it. I'll try.
Maybe
and see what
somebody else
happens.
will do it. I know you need to do it kind of cheerfully if somebody can do it. Let me see if somebody is into
Okay.
it. You know. So anyway, that's something. If somebody out there has the thing, I don't know. Maybe Freddie can do it, or somebody, or Tom. I don't know. Somebody. Okay. Anyway, let's look into that. So I mean, it'd be nice to keep Govinda around. People, all you have to do is start that account over there. So you need to start it over there. I can't do it over here. Not even allowed to in Mexico. Yeah. So start it, and we can contribute from over here, and then help him out. Okay.
And is it not possible that people just send money to Govinda his bank account? Is that also okay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's much easier, actually. That's much easier.
That's easier. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's easier. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Freddie has the bank
Freddie has the bank. Yeah.
Freddie has my bank details. I can either send them if somebody wants. I'll send them to them, kind of like that.
Yeah. So either contact him or Freddie, and send if you want to send a donation to help Govinda out there. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's see. River, give us a word here. Forgot about that.
Hare Krishna. It's going really, really well, Maharaj. It's really growing. It's really growing in a really kind of nice way, in a kind of balanced way. But it's not just me; it's everybody in the sangha. You can see that everybody's is growing now. All of us, because you were always that. You always keep us together, and you keep our growth. You always keep this space available so we can grow, and going through the purification has given so much growth, not just to me, but to all the devotees as well. And thank you very much, Maharaj.
You seem more steady and more happy, more steadier.
Yeah, much steady. Even like I said, even if I have issues, my bhakti is still there.
Yeah.
So it's not going. And that was the thing that caused me a lot of disturbance.
Yeah.
When I was going through the purification, it hid my bhakti, and that was, oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's not happening now, which is, so it is like that. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
It's like the clouds get instead of them being a big cloud blocking the whole thing, it's more of a mist,
It's got like that, actually.
Yeah, it's more of a
because you
mist.
can see through things now.
Yeah, you see through it.
You can see that it's got holes in it and it's not real.
Yes.
That's much clearer now. And that gives you stability. Having this class gives stability. Even if you think you're wobbling a little bit, you come to class, you just hear, and it just takes it away. most of the time, all more than ever before.
Wow.
Yeah, and whatever issues we have, this is higher, this is more solid. All of those things, they happen, but this keeps my attention now.
Mm.
And I think a lot about Lalita and her relationship with Krishna. Like you were speaking about before, because I've seen it grow from the beginning. I'll be watching and watching, and it's really attractive, and it's so encouraging. And your words come to light now. They're flashing, they flash. So I think about you, not just naturally you come in. Well, no, it's just a natural thing, because we're with you all the time. It's a lot, more than anybody else. You naturally come in there all the time. If we're thinking about something else, you come in, and Krishna just comes in, and it's such a nice place to be. But more. That'll be nice. It was you were saying actually about the TikTok thing. I did that myself, where you're just watching, and it's I had to stop.
Yeah,
So
yeah, me too.
Krishna said, put it to one side, because you're just like that
It's
for
addicting.
hours.
It's like an addiction. It's addicting, those things.
It is like an addiction, actually. But
Yeah.
the strength of Krishna has been able to allow me to be able to put it to one side, make a good decision, an intelligent
You have
decision.
to, after this is too much.
You've done your
I
bit.
think, I think it does something in the brain, some kind of
thank you.
dopamine. Yeah, I think it's some kind of dopamine thing in the brain. They know about this stuff, where they they do it to do it. And what got me off of it yesterday was like, they're all just doing it for content. A lot of people, they just just make up content. I said, what do I need all that bullshit in my head? They just make up content, so they want more views and they make money. And this is I just wanted to see the stuff, the good stuff that's to do with the world, what's happening, and stuff. But there's a lot of just crap in there too.
You've got to be a swan.
Yeah, you got to be a swan, man. And then so you got to watch a lot of stuff.
I was thinking that myself, actually. We watch it and we go through it.
Yeah.
And how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a really addictive thing they've put on the internet now.
So subtle things too. I noticed because around the wires a lot here, my attention is not easy to focus. And so when I go to the beach, is better away from these wires, man. I got just.
It's true, actually. When I go to the forest, it's better.
Yeah, it's better. You get away from these, because I got the 5G here now. Oh, and they go, guess what? We're going to turn it up even more. You're going to have faster internet. I thought, oh boy, going to have more of those energy bombs coming through. Yeah, they're going to turn up the juice. Maybe it'll be 6G now next month. So they want to. Yeah. So anyway, this is stuff we got to deal with a little bit. So I'm going to the beach more, and I think I'll try to do more there. I can focus better than.
I really understand that, because I'll go to the forest more.
Yeah, the forest really helps. I wish I had a forest here. Yeah, but maybe. Yeah, go ahead.
It's very interesting, because I'm in a spa town. There used to be an amazing spa water you could get in this town, Leamington Spa. They cut it in the 80s. It was great for health. People used to drink in it, bathe in it, everything. They cut it, and we see what they've got in place: chloride, fluoride, arsenic, crap in the taps. Even when I get from the spring, the natural spring, people look at me kind of like, "What, you're drinking from that?" Because they're so brainwashed, they won't even walk across the road to collect water. They'd rather turn on their tap and drink fluoride, chloride.
Oh yeah, they're doing more of that too. You gotta, it's just, the whole situation. You gotta really sidestep a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It is what it is.
I got this water deliverer. They just bring in nice big bottles of water now.
Oh yeah.
And he takes it from a well and then purifies it too. They have water is very sweet here. This is a very unique place here. This playa. They got all these they call cenotes. big deep springs, and the water is crystal clear.
Ah,
Even in the ocean, they have the cenotes. You can feel the fresh water coming up in the ocean. Very kind of a special place. The Aztecs, the Mayans were here.
yes.
They have all these Mayan ruins and stuff around. I haven't been to them yet. Yeah, I should maybe take a few trips. Yeah. All right, so give us a word there, Lalita. Your turn.
Jai, jai, jai.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Let's think a little bit. It's very enjoying, of course, Guru Maharaj. This class is very nice, like all of them. And you forget I forget how much I enjoyed the one of yesterday. Then I said, "Oh, this one is so refreshing." But yesterday I said the same, and it's all becoming so more and more recognizing. I maybe people think getting shocked when they hear what I say, but this morning I had this revelation. Actually, the Lord is making me holy. He's really making me holy. People can say, "What do you dare to say?" But I'm not saying that I'm holy from myself, but He's hollowing me out and He's really living inside of me and speaking through me and speaking from my heart instead of from my mind. And it's really powerful.
Yeah.
You
Well,
start to recognize actually the associates of the Lord more and more as well.
yeah. Gradually, you'll see all kinds of deepening realizations and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, and actually, it's really the Lord that's holy, and we're
Yeah,
like they're just like a stick,
yeah,
and it's His holiness coming through. That's why, and that keeps you clean. It keeps you clear.
yeah.
When you start thinking that it's your holiness,
No,
then
no.
yeah.
He's inside of all your cells. No, no, I'm not starting to think that it's
Yeah.
me, but he's inside of all my cells and he's empowering me. He's always present.
Yeah.
So
It's great. Yeah. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing that you see how important the Lord is for
yeah,
everything. And you see, this is the way devotees live, and I love it. I just love this relationship. It's all a transcendental relationship. It's what life is all about. This is why people are weak in the world. They're just weak. They're not meant to be weak. We're all weak without this. I know what it's like to be without God, without this conscious relation. It just gets better and better and better. That's the example to get people to come into this relationship. And
yeah. We
yeah, to
need
have
him so much. We need him so
yeah, we
much.
do. Yeah. A real relationship and get over this false ID, identification as being something big or smart or, or something special. See, this is like children,
Isn't it so funny? Like you go to in the world, you can't come in here because you got false ID. You
Uh-huh.
can't go into Vrindavan with false ID either. Your false
Yeah.
ego. It's just
Yeah.
reflection. It's so there.
Yeah. You can't do it. Man.
Yeah. Amy says, I had this realization yesterday about Krishna being inside my blood, not my heart. I have both, but he's really inside of your blood. He's flowing through all your veins
Yeah.
until in the tops
Yeah.
of your fingers. My legs sometimes I have a revelation in the kitchen. I can hardly stay on my legs. They become
Get wobbly, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I know that when I was with you, Lilith and River and Karuna by the River Trent there in Nottingham, I was just so wobbly out of it. I mean, you've got an intense amount of bhakti that it's just unique to you and Johan. I have not to that extent, but when I'm in your association, others' association, Rivers, that day, I was just
Yeah, I
It went to
remember.
another level. It went to another level.
That's why association of devotees is important.
Yes, yes, yeah. Is she sitting there alone in her apartment in Ostend? My gosh, what are you doing over there in Belgium and Netherlands? I know I'd be doing her shopping and doing her cooking and coming to clean the apartment and looking after her, man. Anyway, it is what it is. People do
Yeah,
what they do. But take her
yeah,
association.
yeah,
Janardana did.
yeah.
And
Oh
others.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe there's some devotee you can live with, actually. If any devotees want to have Govinda, live with Govinda or something, whoever has more space. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody inspired out there. Catch,
Let's think
just
about it.
pass a thought out there, and there might be somebody who might want to do that. And yeah, go have Govinda's association.
Also, something I thought of as well is doing. Not everybody wants to live in the countryside, but craft skills, bush craft skills. I mean, predominantly it's Chaitanya Lila, it's Guru Tattva was sharing. But if people want to come in the spring and summer, most people probably don't want to do a winter in England, but they can if they want to. I'm just throwing that out there as well, because people might want the other side of the coin, come out into the countryside. I can provide that. I've got the tarpaulins, tents, and people might want a little break from the city, town life as well. So I'm putting that back out there as well for devotees in our Sangha, well-wishers, friends, as well. And you won't spend a penny. Believe it or not, with me, and you've got money, you won't spend a penny because I know how to live off the mercy of different places. So
You do,
throwing that out there.
You can live without money. That's amazing.
There's I need money for the phones, laptops, those things. Everyday amenities I do not need. I don't need, because I go to the food banks, the gurdwaras, the churches, clothes banks.
So you can actually live like that.
And another thing for all devotees, check out where there's a natural water source in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you'll need it, you will need it in the coming months. What you see going on in America will likely happen here. They're poisoning the water every which way, and they're going to increase it. There was actually a song by the Dead Kennedys speaking about this in the 80s, doubling up the dosage in the water supply. They were singing about it. They're doing it because we have a tolerance to the poison. But if they just double it, treble it, quadruple it overnight,
practically everybody should be filtering their water, especially now, because they're doubling down on it. You got to get it. There's a depopulation program, and that's just a fact. And if you don't believe that, you're in la la land, because that is the agenda. It's not a conspiracy theory. They are depopulating. I mean, come on, man. But anyway, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. But that's if you have a little bit, you understand that, then you can do things like, okay, they're depopulating. How are they doing it? They do it through the air. They do chemtrails and stuff, and that's doubled down on that. I see more and more. And also the water, they're catching them, putting in all kinds of weird shit. So you should, matter of fact, the people are putting these electrodes in there, and so you need to at least filter it. They got the reverse osmosis thing you can put under your sink. Don't just drink it from the tap, unless you have a special water source, But yeah, I mean, just common sense, I mean, if you want to stick around, if not, just, it's up to you, I like sticking around. I like these sadhu sanghas, man. This is fantastic. I love, I want to just go as far as I can with this chanting, and this closeness with God. It's fantastic. It's better all the time, So stick around, and definitely don't get any of these things. No matter whoever tells you that, it's not good. It is not. It's evil, and good and evil. But still, if you want to stick around, don't get that. Yeah. Did you want to say something, Lolita? Go ahead.
No, about the water. Yeah, in Turkey we were living close to a source. We had water from a source.
Yeah, that's
With
good.
our
Yeah, if it's from the
mountains.
source,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in
Yeah.
Turkey anymore.
And
Yeah.
also in a situation where somebody doesn't have a lot of money, you can filter through natural materials like a cotton t-shirt, double it, treble it over. It's not maybe as good as a Berkey filter or
No,
some of
it's
them
not.
out there. It's
Yeah.
not as good. It's not
No,
as
no,
good,
no. Yeah,
but
it's not as good. No.
it's not as good.
Yeah, you get a regular filter somehow.
Yeah,
You can get one of those
yeah,
things. They're cheap,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Tom, your turn. Give us a word, Tom.
And last night I had a dream about people. They were imprisoned by a lot of conditionings. They really lost. It was a gray world they lived in, and well, I again become emotional. I did 2 classes about it,
Oh.
and with the waking up call, the waking up came from a child. In that dream, the waking up came from a child. She had a slip of the tongue, and then by that word, she opened their memory, and it was very emotional. It was just waking up. Everyone was waking up, or can wake up by this slip of the tongue of that child. It was very emotional. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, maybe somebody wants to watch. So there are very deep things in there. Like we can awaken by one word. What hits our hearts? What awakens our hearts? And then from that word, a whole from that word, a whole world can be revealed.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. What else? Anything else you'd like to share?
I was so emotional. I couldn't. I could only be silent. And the other thing is, yeah, what I feel is how to approach this world with where people they are stuck in their holding on to their old ways of fruitive and mundane tax collecting. They are also so used to build a tax collector world and protect the tax collectors and nourish them and make them stronger. It's like it feels it's like a tax collector oriented world here.
Yeah, of
And
course. It's a lot of taxes.
yeah, but in a lot of senses, in a lot of layers,
Yeah.
they want to hold on that they are glued to that way of living, and they only see that value. They are
Yeah,
also conditioned.
I think that's gonna be less somehow or other. It's coming to a head, that stuff, and people are starting to see, like, what kind of lifestyle is that? Everybody is just these greedy people, just taking advantage of everybody, treating them like cattle and somebody to make money off of. This is very. I mean, that's coming to the awareness of a lot of people in the world. To me, that's God showing that this, what kind of life is that? Just using people just to, use them for like resources, and that's what they've been doing. And so there's something happening. I think God's sick of it personally, and he's gonna, this is changing. That's why everything's happening like this. It causes a change. Like sometimes people get sick and then the immune system comes back and causes a healing, and you become stronger. And so I feel that's kind of, there's like a disease attacking the world consciousness. The whole universe is kind of shaking now because the mode of ignorance is kind of attacking itself. Because basically that's what cells do. The disease attacks itself, the cell. But the immunity kicks in, and then they become stronger, more clear, better, And I kind of feel like that's what's happening. I think maybe that's some part of how evolution works. I know I get stronger when stuff happens, that's not seemingly good, or, something really bad, or a challenge or something. It just, you become more aware, more clear, so these things happen. Okay.
Yeah, but can I say a little thing?
Yeah,
when I listen to you now, I remember that before I went to sleep, I had a thought. I was listening and hearing some planes going on, and I was feeling, whoa, it was this feeling that I just I went into a kind of dreaming state, and I saw this pilot in this plane, and he was spreading chemtrails, and I heard him a few times going on, and I was asking myself, how can people do that?
Yeah.
A person just thinking, well, I'm doing my job. Yes, I'm flying this. I'm pushing this button because I'm ordered to do this. And if I don't do it, they will sue me for not doing my job, and they are kind of imprisoned to do this. They have no free will anymore. I was thinking about that. So it's logical that because of that thought, also my dream came.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. All right. So let's play the song, and I'm ready to take a break.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, All you have to do is stay to the sweet chanting heart listening. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo.